All right, let me do this again. I did the first one, but it looks like the audio was off for some reason. I'm not sure why. So we're going to go through this again. Hopefully it's going to work this time around. In this new recording here. So let's get this done. So good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Trading Rich trade recap for August 11. I hope you guys all had a great trading day, and I hope you guys are all doing well. So today was a fantastic trading week. We trading day. We traded a number of stocks and ETF. So we traded Bitmine, which is an Ethereum treasury, meaning that anytime Ethereum goes up, that Ethereum stock price goes up, Ethereum crypto price goes up, that that stock also goes up because that's the world's number one holder of Ethereum in terms of Ethereum treasury. Okay. And we also traded Tesla as well. So our two trades of the day were Bitcoin long and then Tesla long. And also we also had a trade plan for QQQ long for those that trade options, they traded QQQ. For those that trade futures, they traded the NQ. That's the Nasdaq futures. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen briefly here to go through um which trades we executed and how those trades worked out. So the purpose of this, so my name is Richard Ajay, and I'm with Trading Rich here. And the reason that I do this, I'm going to be doing these trade recaps is to help you guys gain some understanding and gain some golden nuggets that you can apply in your trading when you see similar setups or similar chart patterns show up, right, on your trading. So this was a day trade. So I'm going to share my screen right away here, and I'm going to go through the recap. All righty. So going into the day, at pre-market, we at in our day trading service, we start the pre-market game plan at 8:45 a.m. Eastern. So 8:45 a.m. Eastern, basically I go through the trade plan for futures, for the futures traders. And then at 9 a.m. Eastern, I start going through the trade plan for those who are going to trade options. So those who want to trade SPY option or QQQ option or any stock options, right? Yeah. So going into the day, our main trade of the day was main trade that we're looking to trade was Bitcoin. So Bitcoin and Tesla. Um, this is because Bitcoin is a stock that has been consolidating for over 3 weeks. So if you look at this is 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's been trading within the same range. And if you look at the daily here, this is like 15 days of consolidation. And in technical analysis, the longer the consolidation, the bigger the move, right? So what we were looking for was the game plan was if we can break above this trend line, the trade plan was that we were going to go long. And at pre-market, we got this move to the upside here, which happened whereby this stock gapped up above this trend line. So it made the work easier. So what we did was that at the open, at pre-market, I gave our members the trade plan, and the trade plan was 55.09 and 59.91 were the pre-market high. This is pre-market. This was the low of this candle, and then here these are the levels, right? These were so our main target for today was to fill the gap, right? So this is the gap entry at 57.61, and this is the gap fill at 66.26. These green lines, okay? So in the intraday, if we go to intraday, we are going to see what happened. So at the open, what happened was that at the open, I told members that I'm seeing what looks like an inverse head and shoulders pattern at pre-market, right? And here's our pre-market high, 59.91. And then this is our pre-market low, 55.09. So Here we were seeing some kind of consolidation at pre-market, and we're trading in an uptrend. So this year was holding the 50 EMA on the 5 minutes. So anytime any stock that we're trading is trading above the 50 EMA on the 5 minutes or the 2 minutes, whatever time frame it is, that stock is in an uptrend, right? So since it was an uptrend, we're looking mainly to go long because on the weekend we saw Ethereum, which is a cryptocurrency, number two cryptocurrency, break out on the weekend, right? And Ethereum broke out on the weekend, meaning that if Ethereum has broken out, since this company owns a lot of Ethereum tokens, right, as the world's number one holder of Ethereum, that means that the stock price of this stock it was going to go up because Ethereum has gone up. So the trade plan was that at the open, what we were looking to see was that at the open, we were looking for a bullish engulfing candle, right? A bullish engulfing candle that can engulf this break above this pre-market high. And then once it breaks above the pre-market high, we're going to look for some kind of a retracement, and then we are going to enter the trade. So we used 2 minutes, time frame to enter the trade. So at the open, we saw this kind of choppy action here, consolidation, indecision, and then we got a big move and we broke pre-market high. So here was the area where we took our first position. I entered in early here, early entry here, and I added to my position here, and then we rolled it up, right? So I guided members to capture this trade. So here we saw, then we flipped to the 5 minutes time frame, and we saw that this was riding the 9 EMA in what we call the 9 EMA trend, right? So because it was riding the 9 EMA, what it meant was that we're going to hold this and allow this to go to our profit target. So our main profit target for this trade was to get the gap fill, right? And then anything above the gap fill was going to be a bonus. And then from the gap fill, the next area was to come to this weekly level, but this was far away, right? And usually in technical analysis or in trading, day trading or technical analysis, this is something that I have observed over the years, right? Over the years of trading. I realized that anytime you have back-to-back levels, levels that are close together, usually close to each other, what happens is that when the stock moves and it doesn't hit the upper level of the other resistance or profit target, it tends to stall out halfway through the two levels. So for instance, if you do the math here, if you add 66.26 to 75 to 75 to 75.31, you are going to see that these two here, if you add this two and divide by two, you are going to get approximately 70. And guess what? Where did Bitcoin stop? It stopped at approximately $70 level. And over here with Bitcoin on the daily chart did not have any levels here. There was no levels here. So the next level, so this level here was this year. There wasn't any candle. There was no any level here that you can point to except this, right? So the main level was the gap fill, and then over here there was no level. So the in between the two is where it stalled out, and then sellers started stepping in. Okay, so the main trade was to capture the move from here to here. So I told members to get $65 calls expiring this Friday for us to capture the move. Our main target was the gap fill. Anything after that was just a cherry on the cake, right? And this trade worked out brilliantly. So this returned 378% return, meaning that what this means is that if you invested $1,000 in this trade, you made 3,700 from it, right? And some change from it, right? So that's what it means. So this is 3.7x return on investment, right? Which was really, really fantastic because here, this trade here lasted for, we ended the trade at 10:45 Eastern. That's when this whole thing ended. So in an hour and more, you were able to make this percentage gain in a trade. right? So this Bitmine really worked out well, and then later on in the day, it's sort of due to the CPI news coming up. So the smart money are not putting any risk overnight risk. So what they are doing is that they are selling, and then once the CPI comes in and they figure out the CPI and the CPI is good, light and or good, better than expected, then they are going to jump in again. So for now, people have sold off, taking their money off the table. That's why you saw QQQ sell off, you saw Tesla sell off, you saw Bitmine to sell off, right? So this was the trade of the day for us. And then the second trade was Tesla. So Tesla going into the day was really one of our top watch for the day, because the reason is that Tesla has been trading within this wedge pattern for the longest time, right? It has been doing that. If you look at this is from what's it called, March, right? It has been trading between this level for a long time. And what we have here is that we had now Tesla over here. So with this kind of wedge patterns, they're usually neutral in nature. They can either break to the downside or could break to the upside, right? So it's just like having a toothpaste, right? If you press it hard, it can either pop the toothpaste to the upside or it could pop it to the downside, and then you are going to have it in your on your toothbrush, right? That's what this is. So here, going into the day, we realized that the move favored the bulls compared to the bears, because we were in the upper channel of this wedge pattern, right? We're in the upper channel. So that's why we got that breakout today. So because we're in upper channel, we're looking for longs, right? And at pre-market, we got a pre-market consolidation, and then this moved up and then it reversed, right? So at the open, I was telling members that if Tesla pulled back into the 50, this is the red line on the 5 minutes, we're going to look to go long, and I'm going to see if it can give us a bullish engulfing candle. And here we are at the open, we got this bullish engulfing candle. So the moment this bullish engulfing candle cracked through pre-market high, the moment this bullish engulfing candle cracked to pre-market high, or the moment the bullish engulfing candle went like it moved about, so the entry for this was 2 minutes time frame, right? So the moment this reached 1 minute 30 seconds, I took my first trade, right? My first initial entry. So I took my initial entry in there. So my initial entry was over here. I took the initial entry once we broke pre-market high, and my stop was here below that candle, right? So my stop was here below the candle. So basically, this candle here was a bullish engulfing candle. And anytime you have this quick move or push, right, with a bullish engulfing candle, it's like sprinting 100-meter race, right? After 100-meter race, the same energy that you had, you can use the same energy to run another 100-meter race right away, right? You need some kind of resting, right? So stocks have a resting period. So that resting period is what we see here, this choppy action, right? And this is called a flag, right? It forms a flag, right? So here we have what is, so we have here this our flagpole. This area here, this is our flagpole. Let me blow this up. This is our flagpole. And then this is let's take this back. Where is it? Oh, whoops. Okay, it's here. I think I went too far. All right. Yeah. So this is a candle. This is a 2 minutes candle, right? So here, this is our bullish engulfing candle. So once it closed, what did it do? It consolidated. So here, this is our flagpole, right? This is our flag. This is our flagpole. This is our flag. Okay. So what happened here was that took an initial position, and then from there, what I did was to take another trade here to add to the position, right, that I had, and then we rolled it up to the upside. targeting. So our main target for this trade was first profit target was 342. Second profit target was 346. And then the third profit target that we were hoping to get was 349, but we couldn't get there. And then price stalled out and came down, right? So but this was a beautiful trade. I believe that we bought the 350 calls. I think it went as high as 100% return on this, and we closed the position, right? So here, this was another brilliant trade that we had today. And the next one was QQQ, right? The next one was QQQ. So QQQ, what QQQ did was QQQ actually QQQ, we had this game plan here. So the game plan was this was a demand zone, this was our supply zone. So at the open, the trade plan was if we dip into demand zone, we're going to look to buy call options, or those that were trading NQ futures, they were going to go long on this. So we went long here at the demand zone, and then we were supposed to sell at the supply zone. So this was a zone to zone trade. And this gave us a 2 points and some change move, right? And this is equivalent to approximately 80 points or more in the NQ futures, and that is equivalent to $1,600 profit, right, per contract. So that was our game plan. We were looking to capture this from here to here, and it worked out really nicely. And those that traded this made very good return on investment. Yeah. So that's about it for the trade recap for today. I'll look forward to bringing in tomorrow's trade recap after we finish trading. So tomorrow we are looking at CPI. So the market is anticipating the CPI, and based on what we have here on the CPI, let's check it out. Let's see, Market Watch. So the market is expecting a CPI print of 3.1. That's the forecast. So if it comes in lighter than this, it's going to cause the market to go up. If it comes in hotter means that if it comes in higher than this 3.1 number, then we are going to get more sell-off to the downside. So we shall see how that works out. So so that's about it for tonight. I wish you guys all the best in your trades this week. So the next recap. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye for now.